Welcome to selfdiscoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life, right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy. Well, fall is here. Are we falling into darkness or light or love? Fall is on the way, but with 30-degree temperatures still out there, you would never know it. The season whispers of change, yet in the world around us, we're always witnessing a different kind of fall, the fall of an empire. America isn't just stumbling, it's cascading into dark days, a sobering reminder that all falls are not gentle. There's also the heartbreak of watching Gaza fall, the devastation of genocide, the horrific loss of life, the unsureness of people's hope. It's a fall of humanity that we should never accept, yet one we witness, and with open eyes and an open heart, we can never rise again. We can't stand by. We have to support. We have to push back in any way we can. But fall can also mean something beautiful, falling into place. It's when those pieces finally align, when that once felt scattered and out of natural order, but it's now that kind of fall that I choose to embrace as things fall into place. One of grounding, harmony, trusting, and coming together. Finding our pace in life after chaos can be like falling into rhythm. We can fall into faith, letting trust replace fear when the future feels uncertain. We can fall into grace, extending compassion to ourselves and to others when the world feels harsh. And then there's the sweetest fall of all, falling for someone. This October, I will be falling head over heels in love with my third grandson. A new life arriving just as the leaves turn and the air shifts. A reminder that in these uncertain times, there are moments that fill our hearts and make every fall worth the journey. But there are some falls that we need to avoid. Falling into place for somebody else's agenda. Falling in line because society demands it of you. Following somebody and falling into order because that's the loudest voice. We can avoid certain falls if we think, and we educate, and we inquire, and we converse. There is a lot out there right now, and a lot of misinformation. And we need to look at for ourselves, does it resonate with us? Could it be true? Now, let's just say this. If somebody wrote a script of what's going on in America many years ago, and dear old Bernie Sanders actually did warn us about this many, many years ago. But if somebody wrote a script and pitched it for a movie, it would be laughed at. It would be considered a comedy. Not only that, it just like could never happen. You couldn't write what is happening right now, although for many, many, many years it's been predicted in some form or other. What the hierarchy wants you to do is to fall into place and obey. We don't want you to do that kind of fall, because that's falling out with yourself. That's falling out with your meaningful purpose. That's falling out with your heart and soul. We want you to fall into your heart and soul, your consciousness, and step into compassion, inquiry, understanding, caring, giving, loving. That's the kind of fall we wish you to have. the falling in place for somebody else's agenda mindfully or mindlessly falling in place without question, I promise you will always lead you to doomsday. It's somebody else's agenda that is using you, manipulating you to fall into place for their gain, not for you. When we meet somebody, whether it's business or potential relationship or business relationship, friend relationship, it's all about not falling in line with the way they think. It's about bringing out the inquiry within each other, the conversation that allows us to see things from all sides. We want things to fall into place. We would like people to fall into place with our frequency, our vibe tribe, our wavelength. Because now we have an orchestra that's in sync with each other. And when we play our instruments, we are transcending. So that kind of falling into a groove, falling into a rhythm together, falling into a wavelength together is exciting. That kind of thing can be uplifting and illuminating and invigorating and creative. That's the kind of fall we want to have. You know, seasons are wonderful. I don't particularly like the dead of winter when it's minus something, or nor do I like when we're in the 30 degrees. I just can't cope with that kind of heat. But it's all there, and it's there for a reason. We have seasons too. We just don't register it with electric light, with um, computers, with everything else automated for us. We go by the light bulb rather than by the seasons and the sky and what is happening in nature. Perhaps if we fall in line with nature and follow nature's lead, we would actually align ourselves more to do with our own equilibrium as nature creatures. You know, we've forgotten we are still a creature on this planet. And whereas all the other animals follow um, all the seasons and an indication when to hibernate or when to eat or when to do this and when to do that, we have forgotten that because of all of our electronics and power and everything else. We've forgotten our seasons. We can have summer in winter and winter in summer. It's very, very confusing for our own cycle. So perhaps if we fall in with nature, go for walks in nature as those leaves change, nice woolly sweater on a sunny autumn day, but you're seeing everything fall. Why do the leaves fall? This is a way for the tree to preserve itself through the winter because it's going to need the energy to survive the winter. So it lets go of its leaves so it can hibernate, stay and maintain its energy so that it can be reborn again in the spring. Well, we used to kind of cocoon more. We prepared our harvest, everything to stock up for the winter. And, you know, winters were harsh because many things were not out there that you could grow. Now we can grow anywhere. You know, there's glass houses, sorry, just forgetting what they are, but where we grow all year round. And we can grow all year round, even in our own house. We can have a sunroom and do it, or we can do it with artificial light. There's always ways of growing things. A hint, do not grow potatoes in your basement. Carbon monoxide poisoning will kill you instantly. So that's just a little tip. But we can grow things in our own home, in the garage, you know, somewhere there's artificial light. We can keep growing things. But it's not to forget that we're part of nature and that we need to make sure that we follow those seasons. When we step into winter, we now dress for winter. We prepare our cars for winter, our homes for winter. We turn our food to something more wholesome and more hearty that can kind of fuel us from the inside, warm us from the inside. And so it is about falling in place with the seasons. And it is about tapping into that natural flow and making sure that we really do stay in sync with the seasons and nature. But it's also staying in sync with what's right out there. Finding your vibe tribe, finding your orchestra, finding your choir, finding people that are on the same uplifting platform as you. I'm not even addressing the people that choose to be angry, mad, hateful, spiteful, greedy, opulent, violent. They won't even listen to this show. It would be completely over their heads. I'm talking to the people that are already on the vibrational rise, on the conscious rise, on the people that are in their own self-discovery, the people that are wanting to align with something that is meaningful. The more you align with nature and the more you align with other people that are on your same frequency, the more it helps your frequency even rise. Because the higher we raise our vibration, the higher we raise our consciousness, the higher we step into kindness, caring, loving, compassionate, understanding, considering, the more we empower not only ourselves, but all of those around us. And that domino effect, as it goes around and affects everybody on that level, it lifts everybody up. So while fall is about getting ready to cocoon, that doesn't mean that you stop elevating. It means that you root that compassion, that kindness, caring, beautiful soul. You root it so it can take roots, so it can grow strong, so it can branch out to many arenas, being strong in the roots of its belief, being strong in the roots of its compassion, being strong in the roots of the higher intelligence. Now, not just talking AI, that has a purpose too. I'm talking about the universal intelligence, God intelligence that comes through us. When we tap into that and we root and we hear from that rooting, that core, then we always know that we're guided, we're never alone, and we're going to be taken somewhere that we need to be. And that is a wonderful journey to have. We know that we can grow our trunk strong and solid, that it can weather anything. And we know we can branch out with many leaves, with many fruits, with much wisdom. That's why one site is called the Orchard of Wisdom, ready for the picking, ready for the clicking, as I'm a podcaster. And it is about that growth of that tree, and it can weather the weather because the roots are strong and deep rooted. The trunk is solid, and those branches are flexible in the wind. If we could look at ourselves like falling into the ground with our roots, feeling really grounded and strong and deep with loving intent. Mother Earth is sick to death with all of your woes. It's cracking her up, literally. She wants your love. She wants your gratitude. She wants your compassion. She wants your understanding. And the more we ground in that, it empowers her as it empowers us. And as we get empowered, not powerful, empowered, we empower others. And that is truly where the power is in our collective higher consciousness that allows everyone to fall into a rhythmic groove of compassion, understanding, caring, wisdom, love, empathy, and ability. We then understand what our gift is, what we're here to do, and we step into that with heart and soul felt, with a spirit ready to go, with a mind very clear on what needs to be done. And we step into that, and it is a beautiful place to be. It truly is. So look at your seasons of life. Do they match the seasons of nature? Are you preparing? Like for me, this fall, as I've said, I have a beautiful grandson about to be born. I know I will be spending a lot of time with my grandbabies and helping my daughter. But I'll also be more and more entrenched in finding authors for Our Forgotten Seniors book. I will also be doing the audio for Our Forgotten Children book, which you can see on the shelf over there that came out last year. I will also probably be doing the audio for my own book. So there's a lot of things that I intend to do this fall and winter. And it's setting things in motion that I carve out the time to do that. But I've also got to be flexible of time because of the way my grandchildren will need me, my daughter will need me. And when you prepare, you know, people of the past had to prepare. The fall was preparation. That's the Thanksgiving of the harvest, all coming together, preparing, canning food, drying foods, everything kind of ready for the winter, growing as much as they could until the weather turned. And depending where they were, the weather can turn in October. We're here in British Columbia, so we get a lot of rain. So still a lot of hearty things grow, like all the root vegetables. Yum, 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 yum. And you can, what I do in the winter is I make a lot of stews or crock pots, and then I put them in the freezer. So I just need to take out a one of those and heat it up, and I've got a good hearty meal at the end of a working day. So there's a lot that we can do in order to prepare for that winter, but it's the same principle as you preparing for what you would like to achieve in this fall and winter months. Maybe it's all the seeding and the preparation for the spring when there's a new growth to come out. I'm praying that spring actually brings all, I've already got the authors through the winter, and spring is when we launch the book. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I've asked the universe to make happen. And I now need to pay attention to what the universe message is and for the people that are right for the book. And of course, I'm looking for seniors. So we can have intent and we can plant those seeds and we can water. I wanted to have this book out last year, and it clearly wasn't the right time. So it is now time for me to move forward on this, and because I'm feeling the nudge from the universe that now is a good time to really start planting this. I moved my site over to a different server. I've got a few other things going on, and now it's just making things fall into place so that they are in harmony with each other. So whether we are looking at the fall and the turning of the leaves and preparing for cozying up for the winter, getting our homes ready, de-summerizing and, preparing for winter, whether it's in our business and going to the business winter mindset, planting seeds for the spring growth, whatever it is we're doing, we want things to fall into place naturally, harmoniously, productively, creatively. So do make sure that whatever you're planting, that you are watering and nurturing. What is it? We know that plants love music, right? And so what is it about you that helps you grow? Is it music? Is it yoga? Is it meditation? Is it going for a walk in nature? What is it that waters your heart and soul? And make sure that you spend time watering your heart and soul so that you can deeply root and grow a strong trunk so that you can branch out when you're ready to do so. So let things fall into place. But let us also look at the fallen, the people that have fallen in Gaza, in America, in many, many countries in the world, the individuals that have fallen. There's many associations around that deal with domestic abuse and how can we help those people? One of the big things that we need to do is reprogram. And the reprogramming is repatterning, changing the program that's been running in somebody's life, in their parents' life, in the life of before that, and being unaware that they have this pattern, and now how to change it in a way that frees them from that as past programming and allows them to choose a program that serves them today. When we're aware, we care. When we care, we do something about it. But the one thing we cannot be is unaware anymore. So it's time to go in and be aware. Who are you? What are you here to do? Are you embracing all that you are? Are you running on an old program? Is it time to fall into a rhythm with your own inner sense, your own essence, your own divine, beautiful being, and follow that path instead of falling into place with somebody else's agenda that serves them and that doesn't serve you? A really good time for reflection and have a really good look at your life. Is it serving you? Because if it's not serving you, you're not serving the community. And if you're not serving the community, you can be a drain on that community. So we need you to step up into your own beautiful essence and become part of the solution in serving others with your illumination, because that's how we all grow. That's how we save the human race, how we save the planet and all life on it. That's how we change the frequency from hate and war and violence and greed and opulence to love, to caring, to compassion, to creativity, to inclusion. So may the fall be kind to you in whatever fall it may be, but may it fall into place for you in a way that is harmonic and really brings you a creative growth, a creative rooting for you to grow. So until next time, folks, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tab at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.